So part of what we'll be emphasizing is coming into our physical bodies and moving them with consciousness and awareness and awakening. Yeah. Any questions before we get started about our practice? Well, let me know if you're asking a question. Doesn't look like any questions yet. Okay. So I'll be a little further back, and I hope you can all see me. And I think what we'll do tonight is we'll begin standing. So if you need to be in a chair, you can stay in a chair while we practice. If you're comfortable standing, go ahead and come up into standing. Part of what I'll do each week is look at the asanas and the yoga routine that's in Raja Yoga. And I will offer you either those same asanas or asanas that are similar. There's a few asanas in the book that are a little advanced physically, and generally in Raja Yoga class, because we're working with a group, and especially now doing it virtually, I'm not able to be right with you to make sure that you're practicing everything in a way that's really safe and works for your body. So I invite you, this is true of all that we practice, I invite you to be really present to yourself, to your body, and pay attention to how it's working for you. It's always better to be a little behind your limit, right? So there's what we call sometimes in yoga practice our edge. And the edge there's the edge of dynamic, engaged, energized practice. And if I go beyond that, which would include the experience of straining, too much effort, a sense of burden, it begins to be harsh and pushing, right? And then beyond that, pain or injury. So the edge is this dynamic, vibrant place in our practice that each of us find where we are really engaged in the experience. And if you're not quite sure, you kind of back off and say, okay, now it's a little too passive. You know, I could do this and write an email. Then we're too far back. We want to be engaged enough that I need to concentrate with what I'm doing. So as we practice tonight, let's explore this experience of that dynamic space of practice where you are really here and you are really engaged. And if we're balancing, asking yourself, where are you with your balance, that you're really present and engaged? So we'll see as we go. So let's start with standing. I'm going to come back here more to the mats, and we're standing in what's known as standing mountain pose. This is Tadasana. We often, when we begin standing, we begin with Tadasana as a way of centering our awareness, centering our focus. Feel your feet connected to the earth, lifting and lengthening energetically through the crown of the head, but the body itself physically is relaxed. Begin to take some deep, full breaths in and out. Visualize the breath washing through the whole body as you breathe. The breath carries prana, life force, what Yogananda called cosmic conscious energy, vitality in every breath. So feel that this is flowing through you as you breathe. Body relaxed, breath is relaxed. Lifting the inward gaze. Keshava guided us last week in how to lift the gaze to the point between the eyebrows in a relaxed way, guiding the energy to rise. The affirmation for this pose is, I stand ready to obey thy least command. I stand ready to obey thy least command. This obedience is with your highest self, with the teachings, with truth, aligning your energy with divine energy, saying yes. I am ready. I am listening. I will follow the truth. From here, let's move into Durga Pranayam too. So we practiced this last week in a chair. We'll inhale, the arms come up. We expand wide, open, and as you exhale, the hands come down in front of the body. I'll turn to the side to show you. You can use a chair to come part way, or without the chair, come all the way, release the head and neck, the arms come to the side a bit, bend the knees, tuck chin to chest. Inhale up, arms come up, just a very slight backward bend, flowing at your own pace. Visualize yourself guiding this prana, this life force and energy through the body. Surrender and release. Notice how the body feels as you stretch and move. Be aware of your breath, how comfortable it is to breathe, or if there's any challenge with breathing, noticing this. Deep, full breaths in and out. Inhale up. The next time the arms come up, we'll circle them around and bring the hands to the heart for circle of light, circle of joy. So we inhale, fingers interlace and elbows lift up. We exhale, the hands move out in front. Inhale, lift and lengthen, stretch tall. Exhale, as the arms come down, visualize light and joy surrounding you. The hands come behind the back, fingers are interlaced, and you bring the hands back as far as is comfortable. Release and exhale, arms float. Palms together, hands at the heart. Let's do this again. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Release and exhale. Light and joy. Use the mind. Surround you. Fingers interlace and come behind. Inhale, open. Release and exhale. Arms float. Palms together, hands at the heart. Beautiful. Side to side stretch. So I'm going to stretch my feet just a little bit apart. Last week we used the top of the chair for balance, so please use that if you need. We're going to inhale, left arm up, lift and lengthen, stretching alongside the body, and then turn the head to look up towards the sky, reaching through the fingertips, breathing deeply. Just notice how this feels for your body. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. We'll inhale up and exhale down. Let's pause for a moment, keeping a wide stance. Belly relaxed as you breathe, and we'll go to the other side. So right arm comes up, inhale, reach, and exhale over, and then rotate the head to look to the sky, reaching through the fingertips. We're borrowing the affirmation from Parigasana, the gate pose. It's very similar flow of energy in the body. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Opening up the torso, freeing tension, especially alongside the body, for the awakened energy to flow. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Very nice. Inhale up. And exhale down. Beautiful. We'll come back into Tadasana. Pause for a moment. And we'll come into tree pose, Vrksasana. So I'm going to show you a few options for tree. Okay. So the first, We're going to be standing on the left leg, and the right foot's going to come out, and the ball of the foot can be on the floor, or you can lift that up to the calf, or you could bring it to your thigh, or the crease right here of the groin. Another way, if you're practicing with a chair, is you can use the seat of the chair, and the hands can be here at the heart, or lift them up above you. So find the position where you're standing on the left leg, and the right foot is in position, ball of the foot on the floor, on the calf, if you're using a chair to support you. I use a bolster because of the length of my legs. So for many people, you don't need to have a bolster on the seat of your chair, but I do. Without it, it's a little too low for my legs. And once you come into tree pose, breathing deeply, lifting the gaze of the eyes in a relaxed way, tune into the qualities of calmness and poise. The affirmation is, I am calm, I am poised. I am calm, I am poised. To come out of the pose, we'll exhale, arms down, stand side by side with the feet, relax the body and notice how the body feels. If you can sense energy awakening and rising, guide it to the point between the eyebrows. Yogananda encouraged us to broadcast our affirmations from this point, mentally affirming, I am calm, I am poised. Vrikasana, the tree pose. Very nice. We'll go to the other side. So I'll just move this over. So now we're standing on the right leg. And again, let me step to the side again to show you your options, right? Or you can have your leg on your thigh. By using a chair, I can get a little closer, my legs up a little bit higher. My foot is near the knee. I wouldn't do that without support of a chair because you don't want to press on your knee. So your hands can be here at the heart, and you can lift them up above or bring them out to the side and lift. And then bring the hands down slightly and lift the gaze of the eyes. So this is a balancing pose, also a strengthening pose. It's very calming. The concentration in the balance focuses the mind, calming the mind, increasing the quality of composure. I am calm, I am poised. See if you can sense that within yourself as you practice. I am calm, I am poised. Keeping the breath flowing. If it's uncomfortable to have the arms above you, you can bring them back to the hands in front of the heart. If you feel any strain in your breathing, bring the hands down and see if that helps. I am calm, I am poised. Inhale and exhale. And we'll pause in Tadasana. And just notice once again how the body feels. See if you can sense something happening within you. We'll come into downward facing dog. I'm going to show you this with the chair and then come onto the floor. So if you're using a chair, hands are here. Place the hands on the seat of the chair and bring the ears in alignment with the upper arms. Okay? If we're coming down to the floor, we're in tabletop position. We're going to turn the toes under, lift the buttocks up, bring the ears in alignment with the upper arms, Shift the weight of your body so the body's being supported by the legs at least as much as by the arms. Begin to breathe deeply. The affirmation for this pose is calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. When you're ready to come out of the pose, you'll bring the knees down to the floor. If you're standing and using the chair, bring yourself back to Tadasana. So if you're on the floor, come into Vajrasana, kneeling pose. This is the firm pose. Take a moment to receive the benefits of the asana, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Very nice. We're going to come into Balasana and then Sasamgasana. I'm going to show you it very quickly, and then I'll guide you through it. So the first thing I want to say is on the floor, you're in Vajrasana. You come down like this. That's Balasana. To come into Sasamgasana, we lift the buttocks, and I turn to look towards my knees. The top of my head does not touch the floor. Okay, and I just want to show you in a chair, because for some that's going to be the better choice here. So you can use the seat in front of you, resting like this, or you can come forward and relax like this. And then Sasamgasana, you'll bring your hands back and look down towards the floor and just reach and stretch your spine. So there's a few options for practice. So inhale, exhale into Balasana. The affirmation for this pose is I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. When you're ready to come into Sasamgasana, on the floor, the thumbs are on the outside of the feet, the fingertips are on the inside. We lift the buttocks up, we turn to look towards the knees, the crown of the head is towards the floor, stretching and reaching through the spine, gentle inversion, with the head lower than the heart. The affirmation is I am master of my energy. I am master of myself. I am master of my energy. I am master of myself. When you're ready to come out, release the buttocks down and rest in Balasana if you're on the floor. If you're in a chair, you might want to come up into a comfortable seat to pause and rest. If you're on the floor, come up into Vajrasana now. Take some deep breaths. Balasana, the child's pose. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. Sasamgasana, I am master of my energy. I am master of myself. Very nice. From here we'll practice Bhujangasana. Just want to show you an option for the chair. So standing, I use the back of the chair and I'll step away from this. And I'm going to relax my shoulders down from my ears. I have a beautiful, graceful arch in my spine, a nice stretch on the back of the legs. And then to come out of the pose, I come back to Tadasana. So on the floor, so that's in the chair. On the floor, we lie on our belly. The legs are together. Press the pelvis into the floor. The forehead is on the mat. We'll come up, we're going to bring our hands alongside the head and the elbows in towards the body. So we'll inhale and exhale, lift the head and neck. Inhale and exhale, you're lifting the chest. So this is first phase of Bhujangasana. Inhale. Now come up onto your forearms a bit and glide your elbows back towards your waist. This is sometimes called the Sphinx pose. It's the first phase of Bhujangasana. It's a very nice way to practice, especially if you haven't practiced either this pose before or in a while. Another way to practice is on the hands, and later in the course I'll offer that as an option. So today we're starting with the forearms. The affirmation for Cobra is, I rise joyfully to meet each new opportunity. Breathing deeply, see if you can feel the dynamic energy rising in the spine, flowing up towards the brain, to the spiritual eye. I rise joyfully to greet each new opportunity. When you're ready to come out, you'll inhale, exhale down. Bring your arms behind you. Turn your head to one side. Pause there just for a few breaths. Then turn your head to the other side. And bring the forehead back to the floor. We'll come up into tabletop position. And let's bring from here we'll come up into standing for Utkatasana, the chair pose. So the chair pose, I'm going to show you traditional and modified. So traditional chair pose is I'll show it to you quickly as you get yourself settled. We come up on the balls of the feet. We'll come down a little bit. That's first phase. Second phase is we come here. The hands are out in front or towards the thighs. And then to come out, we rise up. So I'll guide you through that. But I'm going to show you using a chair for support as well. So it'll look similar. We're standing in Tadasana. Inhale, rise up on the balls of your feet so the heels are off the mat. And then come down a little bit and try to keep the heels off the floor, as if you're seated on a high stool. Now, if you want the chair and need the chair for balance, it's right there. You'll see pretty quickly that this is very demanding on the legs. So it doesn't take very long to feel challenged. Beautiful affirmation is, my body is no burden. It is light as air. My body is no burden. It is light as air. Now you can alternate between the first phase of Utkatasana and come back to Tadasana, standing mountain to rest, or you can go into the deeper squat, which is a deep squat for the knees. So you want to make sure that's okay for you. So if you're doing that, inhale, exhale, come down. If you're using the chair, that can provide balance for you. The hands on tops of the thighs, or out in front, or on the chair for support. The affirmation, my body is no burden. It is light as air. Breathing deeply. My body is no burden. It is light as air. A few more breaths. To come out, the hands come behind. Rise up. Stretch tall. Exhale, arms down. And pause for a moment in Tadasana. Very nice. And see if you can feel a surge of energy flowing through the legs. My body is no burden. It is light as air. Very nice. So from here, we'll practice a twist, a spinal twist, and I'm going to show you one that you can do standing. So here we are in Tadasana. We lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. And then exhale towards the left, keeping the legs forward, so you're twisting the spine. And then you'll go all the way up towards the head and look back over the left shoulder. And the right arm just kind of comes across the body. Looking back. See if you can feel the whole back engaged. Breathing deeply. The affirmation is, I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Then coming out of the pose, inhale, exhale, unwind, and pause for a moment. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Very nice. We'll go to the other side. So lift and lengthen to the crown of the head, and then exhale, slowly twisting the spine until you look back over the right shoulder. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Breathing deeply. And inhale and exhale, come back, unwind. And pause, and as you relax in Tadasana, see if you can feel energy awakened within you. This is a modification of the seated Ardha Matsyendrasanas, practicing it standing. Half spinal twist. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Very nice. Let's come into a forward bend. So this is Padahastasana, the jackknife pose. And I'm going to show you how to do it with a chair as an option. So if you're using a chair, make sure you can touch the back of the top of the chair. Hands are here on the thighs. Lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale forward. And by keeping my hands on the thighs and looking down towards the floor, and reaching through the crown of the head and the tailbone at the same time, you get a nice stretch in the spine, an opening in the back, as well as a stretch on the back of the legs. So this creates a lot of space in the body for energy to flow. This is the active phase of Padahastasana, the jackknife pose. A few more breaths here. And now you have the option, if you're using the chair, you bring your hands in front, kind of step back enough to get a stretch by using the back of the chair to support you. It keeps and maintains a fairly neutral spine. beautiful for lengthening and relaxing. If you're practicing without the chair, round the spine, release the head and neck. If the hands come down to the floor, you can place the fingers under the toes, breathing deeply. The knees can be slightly bent. The affirmation is, nothing on earth can hold me. A deep sense of surrender, release, and letting go. Tapping into the inner freedom of our own soul nature. Nothing on earth can hold me. When you're ready to come out, bend the knees, tuck chin to chest, and inhale. Bring yourself up. Arms come up, lift and lengthen. Exhale, arms down. Come back to either Tadasana, or if you're in a chair, seated pose. Let's pause for a moment at the end of our practice, just to let the body, the heart, and the mind come together. The sense of unity, the deeper meaning of yoga. Body, heart, and mind balanced. Inner awareness of our highest self. Mentally affirming, I am free. I am free. Nothing on earth can hold me. I am free. One more deep, full breath. In and out. Om. Peace. Amen.